Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Ontario Series Playoff Lacrosse Game number 3 here on the JVI Sports Network. This is season continuing coverage of the Oakville Titans Lacrosse from the Toronto Rock Athletic Center in Oakville. I'm Matthew Carrick in for the JVI Sports Network as the Oakville Titans, looking to defend their Ontario Championship, can get one step closer here tonight. This is a best-of-5 series, and they lead 2-0 over the Brooklin Merchants. The Merchants will be in their navy with orange lettering and going left to right, away from Riley Hutchcraft, the backup netminder for the Toronto Rock of the National Lacrosse League. He's also played offsetting games with Zach Higgins for the Brooklyn Lacrosse Club of Major Series, and the other way, Craig Wendy, who at the end of last season got a look with the Georgia Swarm, and he is coming off an MVP season last year in Ontario Series. We're underway with the Oakville Titans wearing their white uniforms with double blue, going right to left, and they control the opening face-off as well. Gage board up and across center. It'll work out for Matthew Van Galen. Van Galen has seen time up with the Oakville Rock here in this building in Major Series, as have a number of these players. Curtis Woodland's shot blocked as it tried to get through. And the first possession, nothing to show for it for the Oakville Titans. Also in action tonight, Owen Sound and Six Nations. Up at Harold Lumley in Owen Sound. Oh, good save there from Wendy, going to his right, got the stick on it, and the rebound bouncing straight out to Patrick Corbett. Heard a lot about that series, that the Rivermen lead 2-1, also a best-of-5 series, so that can wrap up tonight as well. Reigning Ontario Rookie of the Year, Cree Blakely, trying to stuff a shot through Hutchcraft, can't. And the ensuing rebound picked up by Jackson Subak. Comes up the near side. Subak going to take it to the cage. His shot. Save made by Wendy. Rebound over in the corner. And it'll be picked up by the Titans. Subak also having a good season, playing up with the Brooklyn Lacrosse Club with Brad MacArthur, the head coach of both teams. A number of these players have seen time on both sides, especially with Brooklyn at the Major Series level, getting much younger. High shot there from Josh Taguri, it looked like. And here comes Oakville back the other way. Cree Blakely. Another miscue there for the Titans as it skips past away from Eddie Renault. He's got it back now, though. 5 in his shot clock. Fakes the shot, tried to spin back and around Cody Filson. Now finally does lift it on net, but all his teammates have gone off for a change. That'll leave for Corey Upshaw. Not in the lineup for the Merchants tonight. Tyler Goodchild, Trent Boyd, Steve Wisniak, John LeClaire, and Brody Monroe. Ball outside is a big shove there. Jake Cook knocks his man to the turf. Knocked the ball free as well, where it's picked up by Ryan Johnston. Johnston, an alternate captain, running up the near side. He'll leave for Sam Posma and now head off the floor. Van Galen again. Van Galen and Posma working outside. Posma looking for the shot. Not there, so he goes to the far side of the floor. Posma, the righty, getting it back. Far side shot didn't go. And the rebound picked up by the Merchants. You can see them wanting to run the floor here tonight. And that one caught a piece of Gage board before going up into the protective screening. Bit of early shoving before the whistle. Caught the attention of Andrew Ecclestone, the trail official. And the lead is Kyle Kropman, who signals for a moving screen. We'll get a restart here as Oakville didn't have clean possession. Playing up for Braden Davis. Orangeville Northman graduate who will be in the NLL draft this season. Shot over top of Hutchcraft. Really not a clean start for either team in our opening about 3.5, 4 minutes or so. As this shot floats in towards Wendy, but not on net. And we'll see who can hunker down first here in what could be the deciding game of this Ontario Series Lacrosse semifinal. Van Galen from the restraining line. Trying to turn the corner, and another moving screen as Cree Blakely was all over that entire possession. Connor Van Ryn. Here's Subak again. Oh, that time he's looking to the right arm of Wendy the last 2 times he's got a shot, and now finally Wendy will slap the paddle down and keep the rebound in his crease. But how about the transition chops of Andrew Subak? Excuse me, Jackson Subak. Save there from Hutchcraft with 4.5 gone in the period. Scheduled for 3:20s. Taguri leaving for Jake Gilmore. Gilmore outside for Goddard. Now back in through the middle, looking for Gilmore again. They've isolated Goddard on the near side, and that may have been accidental as couldn't get him the ball. Shooter ends up running through the crease, as I believe that was Dylan Riley following his shot and the crease violation. Far side, Renault into the corner. And another crease violation here. That's still shots hard to come by, shots on net that is. Hard to come by in the early goings. Mike Byrne to Jeff Fernandez. Fernandez. One of the leftovers, as was Goddard from those great Green Gales teams early. A lot of contact over in the far corner as Alec Tamas was all over his man. And just as it looked like Oakville was going to get possession back, Tamas takes a big shot and then gets dropped from behind. And we're going to get offsetting penalties here. I said Tamas, but Ryan Johnson. Johnston and Murphy. Austin Murphy, we've seen him in winter ball, if you followed our coverage. As we encourage you to subscribe to both our channels. This one is our main one. We also have channel number 2 on the JVI Sports Network. Our coverage through the summer, the winter. You know what Austin Murphy did in the snowy months, and just needs to put it all together in the summer. Goddard around the outside. Passing back there for a shot from Riley, wide of the mark. Goddard, man, all alone on the crease. And into the crease, Jeremy McWaters. That was a golden opportunity squandered there for the Merchants. Best scoring opportunity for either side here in the first period. 6.5 gone. We're still 4-on-4 for 1 minute and 20 seconds. Ball in the stick of Curtis Woodland. From up top, Eddie Renault. Skip shot across the turf. He's been an outside shooter most of his career, has Eddie Renault, coming up with the Junior B Oakville Buzz program. Back when they were the Junior B Buzz, moving up to A this year, making the playoffs in their first season. Save there from Wendy with Jake Gilmore up in his face, still in his face, trying to deflect that pass attempt. But Gilmore stayed out of the crease, so no infraction as it's played up for Matthew Van Galen. And Blakely now. Blakely has that swatted away. Van Galen knocks his man down, still fighting over this loose ball, still on Oakville's shot clock. Now it'll reset as the Merchants pick up in the corner. Mark DeBrone securing possession. He'll pass back and now head off for an offensive change. Clancy Almas running the offensive door. Looks like they want to spread the floor here, but Jeremy McWater's taking the shot. 5 on the shot clock as that goes wide, straight back into the stick of Travis Getz. Getz is going to take it to the cage and full split save made by Wendy that may have hit the post as well. Man, Craig Wendy's made a few of those over the last 2 years or so in this building. Winter and summer combined. Posma waiting to give to Blakely. Blakely to the far side. Curtis Woodland, his shot saved by Hutchcraft. Minute and a half away from the halfway mark. We are back to 5-on-5. With those offsetting penalties expiring, Jeff Fernandez from the half boards trying to find Goddard back up top, and now the foot race is on for the loose ball. And it'll be Brooklyn getting there first to Goddard, under 10 on their shot clock though. As a bouncer through to the crease, finds its way to Wendy, and he's got one breaking down the floor. And his pass intended for Tamas, who got a step on his defender. Cody Filson was closing fast, but the pass ended up in the rafters. Rare to see that miss and that bad by Wendy, who is usually a sure-handed assist goalie. Gilmore threw the stick of a Titan player away, and they're tied up in behind as a shot comes in and a save made by Hutchcraft. Racing into the loose ball, Mike Byrne. Oh, and Wendy off balance, still recovers to make the save. And how about a second one for good measure on Connor Van Ryn? Craig Wendy looks to be in the zone here this evening, and that could be bad news for the Brooklyn Merchants. Over on that visiting bench, because when we've seen him get hot like this, there's not a whole lot anyone can do. Clean shot block there from Josh Taguri. As Corey Upshaw is leading the charge the other way, Taguri slowly getting off as he took that one in the back of the leg. Off the bench, big hit as Travis Getz lets the shot go. And he was filled in by Tamas, who's thrown his weight around, and then Tamas dropped there by Upshaw. Jake Cook has a word for Upshaw as Tamas is going to go to the bench along with Craig Wendy. 9.5 left and a delayed penalty coming. Here's Matthew Van Galen. Keeping it up top. Renault into the corner. Down behind the net. They try and send it back in front there for Spencer Pike. And the penalty will be a high stick, I believe. 5-minute major against Corey Upshaw. No hesitation and no discussion needed between Kyle Krotman and Andrew Ecclestone. A 5-minute major. Where Oakville can score 2 goals here. Goalie water break gives us a chance to remind you that JVI Sports Network is supporting Major Series Lacrosse and Lacrosse TV this year, as we're into the final week of regular season play in MSL. 2 games coming up on Sunday. Oakville in Brampton is the biggest of those 2, as the Coburg Kodiaks will host the Peterborough Lakers, who clinched top spot earlier on. Had a bit of clock trouble here, so they'll just run it old school. Instead, he comes out at 4 minutes and 20 seconds. And we got 9 minutes to play here. Blakely of the stick taken out of his hands. Wanted a call, but it's not going to come as Adam Peroni brings it to center. Far side for McWaters. And Austin Murphy now. They go back to Fernandez, who has to launch a long shot towards Wendy, but well wide. That's the first of 5 minutes. Excuse me, about to expire here on Oakville. Van Galen far side. Over into the corner, top man takes the shot and scores. Curtis Woodland breaks the ice here in Oakville with a shot above everyone else, a powered play marker for Woodland. What a Founders Cup he had last year with the Allura Mohawks. As we'll just see Woodland posture up, and he's just going to let a howitzer go right over the shoulder. And first blood drawn by the home side. Van Galen should pick up an assist. And Eddie Renault down in the corner. Not sure if that's entirely correct, but Renault and Van Galen. That's the first of two they can get here on the 5-minute power play, as Van Galen takes this all the way outside. Brooklyn bench wanting to delay a game call, as the first Titan player couldn't get a stick on it. The second one did after the shot clock. As the ball will be outside. Interception. However, as Jamie McMahon will jog it up and across the restraining line. Through neutral floor. About 2.5 minutes gone in that power play. Oakville has one of two already, as this one will be intercepted again. Pass intended for Spencer Pike, and headed down the floor is Josh Taguri. Taguri, stutter step. Now he's going to be swarmed by two Titan defenders. Taguri taking it all the way outside. We'll just lift it way back up top to Cody Filson. Filson, McWaters. Filson going for a jog now towards the Oakville bench. He'll lift it into the corner. As Taguri's being worked over here tonight. Missed the majority of the first part of the season with an injury he suffered out at the Alex Herbeski tournament in Prague. And again, cost him the first probably half of the season, but when you want to talk about transition players, young up-and-coming transition players, Josh Shakuri is one of them. 6 minutes remaining in the period. That's about 1 minute and 40 seconds away from the end of this power play. As Goddard brings it across center. Travis Getz. And now Austin Murphy. Murphy far side, nearly got a pick from Dylan Riley. Put the brakes on though as it comes back. The shot from Getz. Collapsing over top is Wendy. Travis Getz, another player who has seen multiple games up with the Brooklyn Lacrosse Club of Major Series and has done pretty well for himself. Number of goals on the offensive side up there. Shot here. That hits off the face, it looked like, of Ryan Desjardins before going up out of play, so it'll be a fresh 30 seconds. Here's a shot from Renault, save made by Hutchcraft. Renault chasing his own rebound behind the net of Hutch. And headed up the floor. Peroni drops his shoulder, takes the shot. Wendy with the save, rebound will come into the corner. And a penalty coming up here as we had a conversation well after the whistle. Ben Heidecker was involved, but I believe Liam Osborne will be the one headed off. Although Peroni into the box, as two officials will discuss. This comes with 29 seconds remaining in the major penalty. And it'll be offsetting slashing minors with Heidecker going off as well. So under 5 to play in the opening period. As Van Galen keeping it outside right now, 4-on-3, low shot off the end boards, nicely kept in the zone by Van Galen. And good thing he did, otherwise the Merchants may have been off in transition. Clean rebound though off the save from Hutchcraft. Hutch comes to his right and can't quite get there. And that'll be the second power play goal for the Titans off that major. And it'll be a 2-0 score here for the Titans. Couple of rebounds that skirted away from Riley Hutchcraft in front of the crease. And you can see Cree Blakely, the beneficiary on the last one, is his power play marker makes it 2-0 with 4.5 to play. And we'll be 4-on-4. Some confusion over in the box because Corey Upshaw's penalty expired, but he's got to serve his entire 5. And he wanted to leave the box, but Ryan Desjardins will take over at the dot. Chris Young wins that easily. And as we go 4-on-4, Cree Blakely will get the first set. Outside for Pike. Pike taking it to the crease and into the crease. Handing it to the Merchants. Straight down Broadway for Subak over to the far side, and Jeremy McWaters saved by Wendy. Said it before in this period, and I'll say it again. He looks on his game here tonight, which could be bad news for Brooklyn. Van Galen circles back. Van Galen taken down, and the ball pops free, and that'll lead to a Brooklyn transition opportunity. Up over center now, slowing things down is Mike Byrne. Byrne will leave for Goddard. Crashing into the middle is Getz. This is Goddard here. He goes to the far boards. Hard shot, and Wendy, where's the ball? Where is the ball? It stays over the line. He knew it was bouncing around somewhere, just threw his hand down on top of it, and Craig Wendy keeps it in front of him. Blakely was looking for the quick stick, not there, so Spencer Pike recovers on the half boards. Posma taken down as he shoots, and Hutchcraft got a piece, so it'll be a reset of the shot clock. This one rolls all the way back up for Patrick Corbett. Corbett's shot, that hits Taguri again. Oh man, the second time tonight in probably the same spot. Meanwhile, up in transition for Subak. Subak's gonna circle the net with Cree Blakely in tow. Pops out of his stick and stolen by Alec Tamas. Tamas chased down, and late contact by Liam Osborne. Alec Tamas, the former St. Catharines Athletic, a player who can get under the skin of his opponent, and as Osborne chased him. And now Tamas having words with Upshaw, who's still in the box serving the tail end of his 5. Here's a shot from Van Galen. Upshaw will leave now. But he didn't like the extra few words that Tamas had for Osborne. And Osborne's going to sit here for a high stick. 2 power play goals already in the game off the first one opportunity. So a 200% efficiency for the Oakville Titans on the power play tonight. And they're back to the man advantage again. No shot for Van Galen. He gives to Renault. It's just wide to the right arm of Hutchcraft. And a big sprint here for Filson. Right to the cage and over top of the ball. Making the save there is Craig Wendy. Van Galen back with it, jogging across center. Van Galen will pass here for Woodland. Got things started for Oakville, though it took some time. Score the first on the power play. Woodland has it back along with Spencer Pike up top. Van Galen into the corner. Cree Blakely trying to return it, and that was off a stick. And ball down here for Brooklyn, who's up over center with 45 seconds remaining in the period. Gilmore will slow things down right at the restraining line. 45 seconds remaining for them to kill off on this power play. As Gilmore trying to feed his man cutting through, and that was well high, and it ends up off the end glass. 20 seconds remaining in the period. Already on the power play are Oakville, so they'll elect to leave Craig Wendy right where he is. It'll be 10 seconds by the time they all get set up. 10 now. And they were working on just this play. Looks exactly like what they were working on in practice before the game started, and it results in a shot by Spencer Pike, but can't get it through Riley Hutchcraft. As after the first period of play, it is the Oakville Titans looking to return to the Ontario Series Lacrosse Finals, and they lead by a score of 2-0 after one. We'll take a 10-minute timeout and be back. Second period action for the Toronto Rock Athletic Center in Oakville after this break. All teams are back out for period number 2 after a 2-0 start for the Oakville Titans in that first period. Goals both on the power play by Curry Blakely and Curtis Woodland. It was Woodland that got things started. We can update you on the Owen Sound and Six Nations Riverbend game tonight. That is game number 4 of their series, and they're showing 3-2 after the first period as a stare down off the draw. Sawyer Howell and Adam Perroni. Perroni's been under a few players' skin on the Titans bench here tonight so far. Goals in that game in Owen Sound at the Harry Lumley Bayshore Community Center. As a shot here and a second one, 2 good saves from Hutchcraft as the teams have switched sides here. Joe Miracle has scored. Good to see him on the board after a few years ago. Just an absolutely gruesome, devastating leg injury for him. Riley Johnson has also scored along with Stuart Martin. The 3 for the Rivermen. Dan Mickle and Lachlan Elder for Owen Sound. Mickle started the season here with Brooklyn before being traded to the North Stars for the playoffs. Mickle playing with the Brooklyn Lacrosse Club. Halfway through the shot clock here for Brooklyn as they pass into the corner, and a split save again for Wendy as Dylan Riley tried to sneak one past. Couple stumbles there. I'm not sure if it's an injury or just poor footing for Jamie McMahon. He looks to be okay. He's hanging back though, and a lot of coming and going for Brooklyn in front of their bench. They get clocked for too many men, which is not a penalty on offense. Excuse me, it was Oakville that got pegged. As what a move to get past the defender in the shot, and where's the ball? It stays in front of Wendy. Now whacked back towards the crease. They're going to say it wasn't off an Oakville player, not enough for a back-in call anyways. As down the floor, Patrick Corbett takes it in towards the net. Corbett the last few seasons playing with the Oakville Rock, but caught in a numbers game. Remember when he first came up from, I want to say Burlington. This kid nobody had ever heard of before just showed up and potted 4 goals in his first MSL game. As on the run, a sidearm shot looking low is Liam Osborne. We'll finish that thought in a second, but the Merchants have cut the lead in half. Osborne running away from Titan players, and you can see Wendy looks skyward as Osborne first to score here in period number 2. When Corbett first debuted for the Oakville Rock, Terry Sanderson was still the general manager. And no one knew who the kid was, and that was just one of the staples. When he was around, he found players seemingly out of nowhere who were just fantastic. Big pick near side. Titans player goes down. Not enough for a call. Here's a shot wide of the net. And off to the races go the Titans. They're going to send 3. 1 peels off. Tamas to the bench. Delayed change coming, though, as Corbett has it. Being harassed by Tyler Roach all the way close to the face-off area. No over and back here in summer ball as Titans do pass it back across center unless you're killing a penalty. We are 5-on-5 right now, though. As Postma will send it here to Spencer Pike. His shot around a screen. Hutchcraft got a piece of it just before the shot clock expired. So as it goes out of play, the Titans will get a fresh 30. This is Pike cutting the corner. And a reset. As DeBrone's stick got caught up in the midsection of Pike. Renault was trying to figure out who was being awarded possession, as I think he missed the call and just stood there and hung on to it. And then all over him was Connor Van Ryn, and it'll be a delay of game penalty here against Oakville. which is unfortunate because like I said, I think Renault just didn't realize his team was losing possession there. Close in on the opening 4 minutes expiring here in the second period. Merchants have drawn first blood in the frame as they walk out of the corner on the crease looking for a second opportunity, and Austin Murphy was buried as the shot never quite found the mark. Second rebound picked up by the captain, Gage Board. He's got 10 to get across center, which he does now. Got to get it, past the face-off restraining line. Not sure where the count was, but that was mighty close. Cree Blakely for Woodland. Woodland on the run. Taguri trying to chase him as they feed it through the middle. Couldn't find the cutter. And now the Merchants will jog it up with a minute remaining on their power play. Once we go back to 5-on-5, I ran into Frank Lachowski in the hallway down at intermission. He said this period should be a track meet. And if he's correct, get your seatbelts on as Tamas goes streaking off to the bench, and look at Wendy on one hop to the front door. But nice job by Austin Murphy and Adam Peroni to get there to cut off the lane from Cree Blakely as he'll slow things down. DeBrone, a hard check up top on Van Galen as they go cage to cage now. Keep your eye on that battle just inside the fan as the ball up top with 5 in the shot clock. DeBrone and Van Galen still having words as Blakely shot hard off the helmet of Austin Murphy, and he's going to head to the bench here. Didn't look initially like that fazed him at all, but now slowly making his way to the bench, and the trainer paying close attention. Peroni, meanwhile, taking it up the floor as we go back to 5-on-5. Stutter step a little bit there from Gilmore before he ties this game. Jake Gilmore. And indeed, just as we go back 5-on-5, the transition starts to come to play. Around the back and on the run, you'll see Gilmore come into frame and a low shot that beats Wendy. (23, 33, 83). Gilmore, Peroni, McWaters on the tying goal that has us knotted 2-2. 6 minutes gone in the period. A lot of directing traffic from both benches as the shot off the back glass and then the backside of the net. As Cody Philson thought he had running room. Kyle Stavely making him think better of that. Up top for McWaters. He'll push in the corner. Big pick there from Tamas, who gets run over. Return pass into the corner for Fernandez, who hits the inside of the post, and the ball bounces right out and straight to Goddard. Liam Osborne back to the far side. Play called out here by one of the Merchants forwards. As everybody cleared out of the middle, Osborne has it back. Quick stick opportunity from the corner for Getz. This one will roll towards center. They want Tamas to hurry up, but had a bit of trouble at center, so they'll wait for the set offense. And again, on his way up the floor, DeBrone gave a cross check to Van Galen right in the kidney pads. Not sure that Van Galen wants any piece of that, but we'll keep an eye on the battle nonetheless. As it's returned back for Renault, the low shot save made by Hutchcraft. And immediately you can see as the rebound's picked up by DeBrone, his first look was up the floor to see what quick transition opportunity was available. Nothing this time. But the score does remain tied. The sidearm shot. Austin Murphy saved by Wendy. And jogging up over center, Eddie Renault, who's gone offense, defense, and will now stay out for his second consecutive offensive shift. Woodland. Pick set by Renault, and as he tried to return it back, he was filled in by Mike Byrne. Byrne will have it up and across center now, as the Merchants slow down and wait to get their offense out. Or will they, as Peroni looked like he was going to try and make something out of nothing. Passing into the corner, Peroni heads off now, 10 on the shot clock for Brooklyn. Spinning back, Murphy to the cage, his shot. Had a little of a twist at the end and almost fooled Wendy, but you see the adjustment mid-save to keep that one in front of him and keep it a 2-2 game here in period number 2. Pike to Posma. In the corner, Blakely. Posma snuck through on the crease all alone. And what a save by Hutchcraft with Sam Posma. Postured up right on the crease. Nearly a big hit there as Stephen Lee held up last minute. Hunter Agus. Wearing number 12 tonight. Not 100% positive if you're watching in the chat and can correct me where he's from. I believe he's a Hamilton Junior B player as their season came to an end the other night. Congratulations to the Six Nations Rebels who will face the Akwesasne Indians in the Junior B Ontario Finals. Mike Byrne up across center. Byrne to the far side. They go back up top for McWaters. McWaters, the return pass, had the corner, and it's taken away by the left shoulder of Wendy. Again, if you are watching live, we encourage you to like the video, subscribe. Chat room's open, as is our Twitter page at JVI Video. And I am at Lacrosse Boss if you want to join the conversation as this game goes on. Big pick far side, heads up in the seating area. That one doesn't quite make it out of play. Yes, the yellow lacrosse ball here in Ontario Series Lacrosse. As Connor Van Ryn now heads off. Gilmore's floater pass ended up in the crease of Wendy, who then bombs it down the floor. And just a half step in behind Braden Davis. He had to hold up long enough to get Taguri on his backside. And Taguri, again, has been dealing with a lower body injury, or coming off, one, from the start of the season. He's taken 2 low shots off his own backside in this game, and now playing hard defense on Eddie Renault, and may get a shot clock violation out of the deal. Yes, he does. 2 former Mimico Mountaineer teammates. That great group of 97s that went to the Minto Cup 2 seasons ago. Riley Hutchcraft, Josh Taguri, Jackson Subak in this game. Falling and taking a shot off the helmet is Travis Getz. That's 3 off the bucket tonight for various players over on that Merchants bench. Ryan Desjardins gets his stick in front of this pass, and it's going to be a 2-on-1. Desjardins in with the Brone, and the pass too high as he got up and over top of Gage Board with Jamie McMahon arriving on scene. Spencer Pike surveying options. Now takes it to the middle, around a screen. The shot, the save by Hutchcraft. And it'll be Van Ryn carrying this up and across the restraining line. Back for Peroni. Fernandez. Back for Osborne now. Osborne, the first goal of the period for the Merchants as we hit the 7.5 minute to play mark. As finally Oakville able to find the first man out the front door and get transition out of it. And Blakely shot saved by Hutchcraft. Play started by Ben Heidecker. And Hutchcraft had to stand tall. Gilmore shot off the post, bounces straight to Braden Davis, and Davis is all alone, and a save from Hutchcraft. Ball kicked back towards Hutchcraft, and Subak in the face of Andrew Ecclestone, as is Gilmore. Gilmore's got to get off here and realizes it, puts his head down and goes for a run, and Hutchcraft fired up on the back in call, excuse me. Realizes some guy's coming and going, takes the well-timed, I would say, water break. Which gives us a chance to remind you that if you're in the area tonight or any Oakville Titans home game, their official post-game party destination is the Oakville Pump and Patio. Be sure to visit them pre- and post-game here in Oakville. Before and after Titans games as the Oakville Pump and Patio. Official presenting sponsor of the playoffs here on JVI Sports Network. From out of the corner, Eddie Renault. Back for Curtis Woodland as we're back underway. Posma's shot off the arm there of Hutchcraft. It rolls in for Subak, and he doesn't want to touch it. And he was just letting Riley Hutchcraft get there. Again, those two Sawyer Howell on the other bench. Longtime Mimico player, as was Justin Scott, not in the lineup tonight. Matthew Lee also not in. Oakville also without Mason Noble, Braden Wallace, and Brett Olbickus. Shot there. Didn't quite get all the way through, I don't think, but it's be run up by Connor Van Ryn. Van Ryn to the far side. Pick coming from Goddard. Bounce shot wide of Wendy. Off the end glass. This will get as far as the Merchants bench, and Tamas gets stood up at the mid-floor line, and then a few more words for Austin Murphy. Played up for Ben Heidecker. To the outside, Blakely. Renault. Eddie Renault takes a whack, and then big hit from Desjardins as well. Desjardins goes down off the check from Chris Young, and Renault thought it was a bit lean. Early off the bench of Brooklin, called by Kyle Krotman, much to the displeasure of that visiting bench. Ryan Preston on the attack door. Defensive door, excuse me. Clancy Almus, we already mentioned, the offensive coach. As Peroni and Van Galen. Couple whacks up top as that ball was pushed down to the crease. For most of this game, it's been DeBrone and Van Galen, but this time Peroni finds him, and Peroni's had a bit of spice to his game here as well. As the officials discuss possession here, and they end up deciding on draw ball. As we said, no Steve Wisniak in the lineup, the young American player who has taken faceoffs, was actually practicing them in warm-up, knowing he was going to be a scratch here tonight. But his faceoff game pretty strong. As they go with Chris Young for Oakville and Ryan Desjardins for Brooklyn. Desjardins called for going over the top of Young, Looks like he may be a little banged up coming to the bench here. And the trainer straight to that side of the bench, but he looks like he shrugs her off. Spencer Pike trying to get his way through the entire box, and this opens up a lot of room, including Posma, who never really got a good shot opportunity away. As now Cree Blakely late in the shot clock. That one well wide of the mark. As this rebound's going to bounce down, out, and over center. Shot clock expires. Minute 26. 4-on-4 with 4 minutes remaining in the period. A period that has seen the Merchants tie it up at 2. Goddard, oh, what a pass behind his back. In stride, Travis Getz. And that'll be a reset here for Brooklyn. From the outside, Getz. Hard shot, hits the end boards. Rolls up for Murphy. Austin Murphy has a man on the run. The shot there, contact made with Wendy. They'll slow things down to sort out Dylan Riley and the collision in the crease. Floor opening up a little bit with the 2 men in the box. As Renault will send up top for Posma. Eddie Renault gets it back, Sam Posma. DeBrone pushes him outside. Getting it back for Young, who we saw go off, may have been hurt. His shot wide, and now a foot race for it. Josh Taguri will get there first, and Taguri tied up. So Brooklyn awarded possession with 3 minutes to play here in the period. The first 20 seconds of that will be 4-on-4. As Jake Gilmore, the first one off the bench. William Osborne has McWaters on his side. Osborne takes it into the corner. On the run, the shot. He was filled in after the fact as the penalty box is emptied, and we're back to 5-on-5. Here's Tamas. Alec Tamas up for, Sawyer Howell. Had to climb the ladder a little bit to come down with it. And Howell able to run away from his man. Pass, rather, to the far side for Tamas. This is Van Galen. Blakely, Renault, 4 on the shot clock. Is there room for Renault to take one? Yes, there is, but he shot it wide, and as Posma touches up, the shot clock expires. Neither team took a timeout in that first period, so as we get under 2 minutes here, they'll both have 2 remaining. Appreciate Jeff Dowling as Hunter Agus heads off the floor, confirming from Edmonton, playing in Hamilton. And this league is formerly Ontario Senior B, now going under the moniker Ontario Series Lacrosse. Nothing senior, nothing B about it. As we're seeing here in the playoffs, a 2-2 tie. The tie up in front. Mark DeBrone doesn't like the non-interference call, but the shot went out of play off a Merchants player, so it'll be a fresh 30 here for Oakville. Spencer Pike. Across the floor for Blakely. Oh, trying to push it into the net was Curtis Woodland. As they try to go back across the floor for Pike. Subak all over him late in the shot clock. They'll double team now along with Taguri. And they do indeed get the 30-second violation. Up for Osborne. They want a quick shot to go 2 for 1. They get it. Oh, Wendy wasn't sure where it was as it bounced in front of him. And now the Titans want to push. Or do they? Bob McMahon as they got across center. That's NLL champion Bob McMahon, of course. Says settle down, take your time, as they're going to take this shot clock all the way down, and presumably the timeout and the six-man set will come for Brooklyn. Renault with 5 left on the shot clock, off the one that went wide. Off the end boards, a quick return, clean rebound, and a shot there from Woodland. Picked out of the crease, and no timeout called. What happened there? Thought for sure when Brooklyn went 2 for 1, they wanted to get the final shot and get Hutchcraft out of the net and get the timeout, but straight up wasn't called. There was an official right in front of the bench and everything. And Brad MacArthur doesn't look happy about it. I don't know if he was trying to make the call and Kropman didn't. Goodness, that was odd to end the period, but only 2 goals, both of them going the way of the Merchants, have us tied after 2. Your third period comes your way in 9 minutes and 20 seconds. Here as you watch Ontario Series Lacrosse Playoffs on the JVI Sports Network. Third period about to get underway here in Oakville. It is a 2-2 score after 2 periods of play. We return to floor configuration we had for the first period, with Oakville running right to left and Brooklyn left to right. And it will be Oakville controlling first possession with Gage Board, playing it all the way back to Alec Tamas. Ten on the shot clock as Van Galen and Posma get in the attacking zone. The shot off the boards. Fake of the pass up, a 3-on-2 here. As running in are the Merchants. Upshot, far side, all the ball movement. Beautiful start to the period. And the first lead, I believe, of the series. I might be mistaken on that, but first lead of the series in this building anyways. For the Brooklyn Merchants, watch this. Taguri to Upshot, Peroni far side, and they beat Wendy in 37 seconds. (3-2) is the score here. That's what we're showing out of the Harold Lumley Recreation Complex up in Owen Sound between the Rivermen and the North Stars. But it's been that way since the end of their first period. Hutchcraft didn't get this all the way down the floor as the shot goes high and up out of play off the stick of Patrick Corbett. Corbett nearly gifted. With an opportunity as that one went out of play. A minute and a half gone in this third period. Comes back for Cree Blakely. Blakely shot off the right arm of Hutchcraft as it rolls to the half boards. Hit there as they argue over this loose ball. It was Ryan Desjardins as it comes back up to center. Again, Van Galen being worked over, and he just stands there and takes all of it, as he's done much of the night. He's got a few Merchants looking at him sideways, as Upshaw will flip the ball to Travis Getz. Ball far side. Getz pops out of the pile, accepts the pass as it works down to the half boards. 10 on the shot clock. Goddard racing through Osborne. His shot off the end boards, and unable to pick it up cleanly was Gage Board right at center. Otherwise, he had an opportunity for a breakaway. The board will now slow things down. Wait for the offense to get out there. As Blakely goes over the top. Cree Blakely out of the corner, on the run, behind the back. Thought he would go straight in line, but here comes Peroni the other way. Thought Blakely was going to take the shot himself, but elected to pass, and Peroni the clean interception. And now all kinds of trouble here for Oakville as Peroni works over his man on the crease. That's where the shot comes from, not from Peroni though. It's Austin Murphy who gets taken out after the fact. And now on the run, Tamas across the restraining line, has the trailer. It's Van Galen. Subak spying him, and Tamas and Subak collide. Big check there as Tamas tried to cut through the middle, and Subak got the stick high. We'll see what the officials decide to do here, but Tamas and Subak, two players that don't back down. They're going to give him the gate. Be quick. Excuse me, we had a 5-minute major without discussion in that first period. And Subak is going to get 5 for this high stick right here. And they've determined that this is enough for a game misconduct. Keep your eye right to the top of the fan, right side of the screen, right there. And that's worthy of a game misconduct here tonight. 5 and a game, I would assume, for Jackson Subak. We haven't seen him with a major yet tonight. Yeah, the game misconduct comes with the high stick, so not anything to do with anything else, just a high stick on Tamas. And Subak has had a great game in transition and defensively, so we'll see what that means for the Merchants as Goddard comes in and takes a shot off the face mask of Craig Wendy. It also means another 5-minute power play for Oakville. If you remember back to the last one, was Corey Upshaw's high stick. They were able to score twice as Peroni takes exception to Van Galen being a little close to Riley Hutchcraft. Now Cody Filson also taking exception. Players from both sides having trouble with this ball is now finally Austin Murphy there to corral it. Quick shot off of Wendy. And it's picked up out of the corner. Kyle Stavely. Van Galen's got it in the wrong side of the stick, trying the hidden ball play. As Van Galen will send it back up top. Eddie Renault. Around a screen, handled nicely though, defensively by Mike Byrne. Shot there, Van Galen hit the high man. Rebound straight back to Renault, and he'll get the shot clock reset, but no rebound from Hutchcraft. Almost 2 minutes gone in the 5-minute major penalty. 5 in a game, high stick against Jackson Subak. We've played 5.5 now in the period. As Dylan Riley runs around the board, he's going to go around the net here as well. Cuts back. Under 10 to go in the shot clock from Riley. Not sure he really cares. Facing the double team as this one's going to come back. And it goes across the over and back line. Take your pick, over and back or 30-second violation. As we're about to hit the halfway mark of this major power play for the Titans, who trail by 1, opening play of the period. Merchants took the goal and the lead. As off the glass, Woodland having trouble with it. Van Galen shoots over a screen. A little bit extra from Van Galen to Cody Filson. And then down the floor in transition, here's Getz over top of Wendy. The transition of these two teams has been something to watch tonight. And it's going to start with the save by Riley Hutchcraft. And watch him look down floor for Travis Getz. Not even a lot on that first fake as it comes back. And he goes over top of Craig Wendy, but Getz, Murphy from Hutchcraft. For a 4-2 score. That is short-handed goal. As the Titans step up again, shot from Renault. Reaching through the shot, and they score. Spencer Pike gets the response here on the power play. And that'll draw the Titans back within 1. Power play tonight has been really high in the set as all of that takes a few defenders off the crease and no one there to get what's been a rare rebound off of Hutchcraft tonight. Spencer Pike, the only one. And his opportunity, making no mistake, with 13 minutes to play here. It's a 1-goal lead for the Merchants, who had scored 4 straight going back to the end of that first period. Ball high here, another shot for Murphy, who's been very good, including that goal on this penalty kill situation. Murphy back after it, as is Upshaw. Upshaw falls, and he's facing 4 Oakville Titans. And a whistle, and I think a timeout. Did the Titans call timeout here? No, excuse me, we've got an injured player down, and it's Murphy. I apologize for that. Trying to see around the post and just didn't see Murphy, who's now up and hobbling off, as Caitlin Armstrong called into work tonight. As, man, she's been putting in work all night. We've seen Taguri block a couple shots down low, and 3 different Merchants players taking shots off the bucket tonight. Brett Obickus was a late scratch, as her day started even before warm-up began. So we'll try and keep our eye on Austin Murphy over on the bench for you, but just as we were praising his work shorthanded, he goes down in the corner. Play back on, though, with 40 seconds left in this power play. Titans have 1 of a possible 2. Rebound picked up and straight down the floor. With speed in transition, Cody Filson, one-on-one shot and save. The left arm reaching out there for Wendy. Rebound picked up by Osborne, Liam Osborne, in amongst a trio of Titans players. Ben Heidecker will stop him in his tracks and pop the ball free, and the Titans will take over. That's brought energy to the crowd and the bench here at home at the tail end of this power play. Only 5 seconds left, with Van Galen sending it to Eddie Renault. Van Galen shot, save made by Rose. Rebound rolls past the crease, and we got a Titans player running through with the ball still in the blue turf. So the Merchants drawing even on that 5-minute power play. Started with a shorthanded goal from Austin Murphy. And then a power play marker, Spencer Pike. 3 goals on the board for the Titans today, all of them with the man advantage. Here's a shot, as save made by Wendy, and then contact rolling through Peroni. And Wendy limped away a little bit. Looks like he's paying attention to that right side, but will stay in. As the ball up top comes for Jake Gilmore. Gilmore dancing around. Fernandez will set the pick. Gilmore to the far side of the crease. That bounces off the Merchants forward on the far side and into the stick of Wendy, who quickly sends it back up for Tamas. Trailing the play is Posma. Puts the brakes on at the restraining line. And now Van Galen running off the bench. The Titans will slow things down. Here's Posma. Tamas, a big pick as the ball went by. Van Galen, intended pass recipient, was dumped as it comes back for Van Galen again with 5 on the shot clock. Cross crease pass down as Hutchcraft makes the save. And we're about to hit the halfway mark of this third period, with the Merchants still hanging on to a 1-goal lead. Goddard at center. To the far side, Osborne slams on the brakes, trying to lose his man down to the crease. Travis gets the quick stick and the goal, and the 2-goal lead is restored. What a move by Osborne up top, though, to try and shake his defender. This is where it really starts for the defense. Right there, the slam on the brakes, and you can see the room that opens up, as Corbett was kind of caught in a moment of indecision. Go over and help. or stay on his man on the crease, as that kept him high. Seguri controlling this face-off. Under 10 to play in a 5-3 Merchants lead. That short-handed marker by Austin Murphy, the only one that hasn't been scored. Even strength tonight for Brooklyn. Comparing that to 3 power play goals. Up top for Posma. Around the horn, all the way into the corner. Pike cutting through. Couldn't quite get it all the way up for Young. Woodland. As now a check on the stick. And everything slows right down as Connor Van Ryn will wait for the change. Long way to go yet, but just in case. Game 4 scheduled for tomorrow at Children's Arena in Oshawa. It is a 4 p.m. start as this shot off a leg and up out of play. Jeff Fernandez on Braden Davis, and Davis and Fernandez shoving each other as play gets back underway. From the outside, Goddard to the far side, Osborne, and they're gonna call a holding penalty here on either Stavely or Heidecker. It's Kyle Stavely jogging his way off to the bench as Osborne was trying to get his way in towards the crease, and a bit of a tug, and the arm went up from the official. Here it is quick. The top of your screen, right there, the free arm.
The number 15, Kyle Stavely, 2 minutes for holding.
And a holding penalty, and a chance now for the Merchants to pull away a little bit. Goddard for Fernandez, down low, spinning shot there, forgets. Wendy wanted to send it down floor for Gage Board, but stumbled a little bit getting to his feet. The roll through the change box, and a high hit there from Tyler Roach, on Renault, who took his time getting across the line, and a 10-second count as the Titans are killing a penalty. Bit of a mental lapse there by a couple players as it started with the ball rolling through the change box. Here's Goddard to the far side, quick stick. They try it again, forgets, and this time the low crease man right there. As now they work back in front, and that one will work indeed for Dylan Riley. As the power to play goal, Brooklyn Merchants starting to roll here. 7.5 left in the third, and now a 3-goal lead for Brooklyn. You can see the initial shot. They wanted to go quick stick to the crease, and then that's how they scored the last one with Getz. It was a nice slide by Braden Davis, but he came off the crease man in order to make it. And that ended up opening the space needed for the shot from Dylan Riley. Again, if required, tomorrow at Children's Arena, a 4 p.m. start. Game 5 will be right back here on July the 30th, which a quick check, I believe, is Tuesday. It is indeed Tuesday night. An 8 p.m. start here at the track, Game 5 if required. Jeff Fernandez to the far side. Goddard gets a swim move. Down into the corner. Goddard's there looking for help. Tight defense from the Titans, though, all the way up top for Liam Osborne. Osborne has turned it on here in the third period in the setup role. But that tight defense results in an interception, and Gage Board will run it up. Board still with it, and a shot straight through Hutchcraft. Two-goal game restored here. The first even strength goal of the game for the Titans. As Board picks this one up, he's just going to run straight to the center of the floor and let this shot go, and it beats Hutchcraft for the fourth of the game for the Titans. They trail 6-4. That's your score in Owen Sound as well, as we got sticks and bodies and everything all over the place. Excuse me, 6-3. Here's Postma. Far side digging for it is Woodland. The shot, where does that go? Up and out of play. Another shot. This time Hutchcraft makes the save, and it goes up out of play. And another 30 seconds here for the Titans as they keep this defense on the floor. Postma into the corner. Renault Van Galen, a shot, and him and Peroni, Renault acquaintances after the fact, with a rebound picked up by Upshaw. Gilmore looking to send it far side. Ball falls into the stick of Tamas. And played up here for Stavely. Stavely on the run. Stop there, and it rolls for Van Galen. He'll rainbow it back towards the bench. Stavely sprinting off as Postman is there. They want to get Eddie Renault on with 10 on the shot clock. Back to the far side. That's Chris Young. Young up high, a bounce shot from Van Galen through Ryan Desjardins. Does not beat the shot clock. That 6-4 score from Six Nations is through 2 periods of play. Again, a Six Nations Rivermen win tonight will cap the series for them. Pass in front intended for Jeff Fernandez, right on the crease. As it's in the stick of Sawyer Howell in transition, slams on the brakes now, and passes for Cree Blakely. Howell hit it off. Woodland up top. Back to the near side. Big chop eaten there by Patrick Corbett. As now Corbett's going to be taken down in front of the Brooklyn bench. Ball rolls away as Woodland is there to pick up. Woodland passing to Blakely, who was screaming for it as that was developing. And with 4 minutes left to go, Hutchcraft will hang on to make the save. 2-goal lead here for the Merchants. On 1 point scored, 4 straight. They lead 6-4. Titans tonight only 1 goal on the man advantage, 5-on-5, as Tamas will pick up this rebound off the Wendy save. Their first 2 goals came on the same power play, a 5-minute major to Corey Upshaw. Postma out of the corner, took his man down, turns and fires, heard footsteps as 3 Merchants were arriving on scene to throw big hits. And Hutchcraft hung on for the save. Up the floor, Byrne, every possession becoming very important. Again, coming in, this was a clinching game for the Titans as well. As Dylan Riley, shot there by McWaters. Another one, Wendy goes down and makes the save this time. Rebound rolls to the far side for Jake Cook. And Ben Heidecker. Van Galen. Titans get the sense they're going to need to put one in here the next possession or two before we really get into desperation time. Van Galen, far side Pike will draw it down low, and Upshaw forces him into the crease. Either him or Peroni. 2.5 left to play in a 2-goal game. Merchants off the bench. They have Goddard near side. This is Getz. That's Austin Murphy. I was just about to say, not sure we've seen him since he went down with that injury, but believe that's him up top. As this is Getz facing a double team down in the corner. Braden Davis and Tamas. As Patrick Corbett's tied up far side. Him and Osborne work out their differences, go their separate ways. As now the Titans bring it up to center, and this will be the call for Wendy. Minute 50 left. Titans need 2 to tie. Van Galen to the far side. Renault, a hard shot, saved by Hutchcraft. Big rebound. It ends up dormant on the back of the net. And 2 Titans go racing to the bench to get Craig Wendy back out there. Taguri taking a number of whacks as he runs the ball up the near boards. Eventually passing to the far side. It's returned back for Gilmore. Jake Gilmore being chased back across the line, and he'll just dump it into empty floor space as Wendy will once again get the call. Van Galen to the restraining line. Far side, 6-man set. And a penalty coming to Brooklyn. A slash in the middle. Posma far side. Shot there, rebound for Pike. He was all alone. And a bit unlucky for the Titans there, but they'll have 49 seconds to see what they can do as they'll start with the power play. It's a slashing call. And is that Taguri heading to the bench? Josh Taguri, one of the fiercest young players you'll see go after loose balls. Plays for the Guelph Griffins in the fall. As Van Galen sends it below the net. Up top. Shot there for Renault, and I think we had a moving pick in the middle. This was the call from the bench. Brooklyn trying to figure out who's getting the ball here, as I think the Titans were as well. Wendy remains on the bench as this is sent up the boards. Goddard giving chase. Osborne trying to stop in front of his defender, and we get a big tie-up looking for this Lucy. Walking it down the wall is Osborne. And why not if it's him? He's been one of the best merchants here in the third period. As we tie up again, an extra movement there from the Titans is going to give this here to Brooklyn. And they're going to use a timeout here to discuss this final 14 seconds. Brooklyn Merchants clinging to life here in the 2019 OSL season. Looks like they are indeed going to force a Game 4 tomorrow afternoon, 4 p.m. at Children's Arena. And if required, we'll be back here on Tuesday for Game 5, an 8 p.m. start at the Toronto Rock Athletic Center. Reminder of our MSL coverage, 2 games tomorrow. Peterborough Lakers, who clinched first place against the Coburg Cougars at 6 p.m. from Coburg. And then the big game. A lot of playoff implications between the Oakville Rock and the Brampton Excelsiors in Brampton at 7 p.m. JVI Sports Network in partnership with Major Series Lacrosse at lacrosse-tv.com. They get the ball in the stick of Dylan Riley. That was the reason for the timeout, using Riley instead of Osborne. And Riley goes down, ball pops free, and time is going to expire before Posma can get a shot. The Merchants will get one back here in Oakville tonight. Your series is 2-1, and Game 4 is tomorrow afternoon. Children's Arena at 4 p.m. What a game here at the Toronto Rock Athletic Center as Riley Hutchcraft and Craig Wendy put on a goaltending performance. For both of their sides, it's going to be a good one tomorrow and perhaps a good one on Tuesday as well. This has been continuing season-long coverage of Oakville Titans OSL Lacrosse on the JVI Sports Network. Our producer has been Gary Morrison, our director Ryan Harkness, on behalf of them and our JVI Sports Network crew. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. We'll talk to you next time.